Hello viewers, welcome to Learn Computer Tech Easy channel. In this video, we are going to see how to use for loop in Python. Usually, loop is used to execute certain number of statements, to certain number of times. Repeatedly, if you want to execute some statements repeatedly means we can use loop. In Python, we have two loops. One is for loop, another one is while loop. This video will shows you how to use for loop, how to execute the for loop. Okay. Now I am going to explain you this for loop by using a program which is going to print squares of first n numbers. Right. Let's move on to the program. Now I am going to get a number and I am going to print squares of first n numbers. I am going to get a n number, first number of values should be displayed, and then up to that number I am going to print the squares of those first n numbers. Okay. First I am going to get the number of values. N is equal to input of enter the number of values to which squares to be displayed. Now with this n numbers, I am going to print squares of first n numbers by using for loop. The syntax for loop is for a variable and in range. We have to use the keyword in space range within parenthesis upper limit, next lower limit. Lower limit will be n plus 1. Why I am giving n plus 1 means in for loop, if you give the upper limit as n means it will display the values up to, it will display the values or it will execute the statements up to n minus 1 times. Okay. So that's why I am using n plus 1. If I am giving 5 means in this program, if I am giving the value of n is 5 means it will execute up to 4 only. So 1 to 4. So in order to print the squares of 1 to 5, I am using upper limit as n plus 1. Right. Now print square of I is I star I. Now I am going to save this program. Now I am going to execute this program. I missed the colon. At the end of for loop, for I in range within parenthesis lower limit and then upper limit, and we have to give colon at the end of for statement. Okay. Now I am giving 5 as n value. It will display the values of squares of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This is the way we have to use for loop. We can also use the numbers, that is instead of giving upper limit and lower limit, we can also execute the statements for a particular numbers. If I want to suppose if I want to display the squares of just some of the numbers, means some of one or two numbers, means I can use the for loop. Okay, for that purpose, for example, if I am not if I don't want to display all the squares for first n numbers, instead of that only certain numbers, that is instead of displaying squares of all the numbers, if I want to display the squares of just 1, 2 and 3, means we can also use the for loop for that purpose also. How we can use it means, instead of range, we should not use range. For I is equal to, for I in within parenthesis, we should mention only the particular values. Suppose if I am going to display squares of 1, 3, 5, means 1 comma, we should mention 1 comma 3 comma 5. Then it will display, this for loop will display for squares, display the squares of 1, 3, 5 only. It won't give all the numbers. Why? Right? Instead of giving first n numbers, we can execute the squares for certain numbers only. For that purpose, we have to eliminate range. We should give only in, within parenthesis, we should give the particular numbers only. Right? I have given number of values as 10, but it doesn't display all the numbers. Why? Because I give only 1, 3 and 5. That's why it prints the squares for 1, 3 and 5. That is 1, 9 and 25. Likewise also we can use the for loop. Right? Next, by default in for loop the increment value will be 1. Okay. So if you want to increment by 2 or 3, you should mention in the for loop range. Okay, you can give the any number of increments in the for loop by using range. We have to add additional field value. Okay, what is that means? First we have to give lower limit, next upper limit, and we have to give the increment or decrement value. I am giving here n plus 1 and I am giving here 2. Then this for loop will be incremented by 2. For I, it will initialize by 1 and it will increment 2 by 2. That is 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 7. Likewise, it will display. Up to what number it will display means, if I am giving 10 means, it will display up to 11. Okay, here if I am giving 10 means 1, the square of 1 and 2, 3, square of 1 and 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9 and 9 plus 2 is 11. Here 11 will not be displayed because we have the upper limit as 11. So 11 that is 1 less than, I is equal to 1 and I less than 11. So it will display up to 10. Here we don't have 10, it will have up to 9. It will display squares of up to 9. The increment will be 2 by 2. Okay. Now we execute the program. I am giving 10. It will display up to 9. 1, square of 1 is 1, square of 3 is 9, square of 5 is 25 and square of 7 is 49 and square of 9 is 81. 11 will not be displayed. Okay. Likewise, we have to use the for loop for continuous execution of a particular statement. Okay. That's all about for loop in Python. If you have any doubts in this program, you can comment in the comment section. If you like this program, you please like, share and subscribe my channel. Learn Computech Easy. Thank you.